Yep, they're going to be doing a benefit, $10. Come on in, and some raffles, right? I mean, and people can find out information on that on Facebook.
Facebook, yes.
Which you guys started a Facebook site a week ago, and you have 16,000 some
almost
odd,
17,000.
Almost 17,000 friends on Facebook. You have a petition site.
Well, the one thing about that is the petition site, we have only about 3,000, 4,000 signatures on that, and we have 17,000 fans. So
yeah,
we really need to get people to start signing the petition and really showing their support that
Simple.
way. It's nice
a
to
couple of
have,
clicks.
exactly, it's nice to have the support on Facebook, but to really be a strong power for change, something that's going to be really recognized by the government, we need to have these people sign the petitions to show that they are actually supporting this in name and that it is documented, and show that nobody's going to stand for this. Like we've said, it's something that's occurred across the state, it's occurred across the nation even. Students are increasingly experiencing increased number of people in their rooms, so their living space is decreasing, the quality of foods are decreasing, class sizes are constantly increasing while faculty numbers are decreasing. So overall, the entire quality of education is decreasing across the nation, and yet nobody seems to be really nobody seems to be having issue with this. So it's time for the students to really rise up together and really support the restoration of funds to education. Because this is
students everywhere.
Yeah, everywhere.
Yeah.
This is something that's not going to go away unless we make it go away. And you know, it's happening to us right now, and it could happen to anybody in any place. So.
But you're not going down without a fight.
That's right.
And I think it's nice that you broaden the picture on this, because this is the state budget, so it's affecting everyone in the state. And for students to be educated at a Stony Brook Southampton about advocacy and sustainability and sustaining people, and now to bring this forward to everybody, your peers within the state, and say, you know, why is education taking such a big hit? And what can we do to prevent this?
Right.
I mean, is there a way that we can work with the state to have both needs met? I mean, that's part of organizing, is having both needs met. And a side note is the way this group has bonded and how beautifully everyone is working together to be heard is phenomenal. You know, I turn the television on, I see all these horrible things on television. This is a tragedy which is creating a very beautiful moment for people helping each other.
Yeah,
Right.
it's definitely a close-knit community, and everybody knows everybody. And the one thing, you know, my daughter goes to a very large college, 25,000 students, and she's a face. You know, they don't even know her name. Sometimes they call her Blondie, but that's about as personal as they get with her.
Yeah.
And at Stony Brook Southampton, not only do the teachers know your names, you know, you're on a first-name basis. You know, they'll say, "Oh, call me Kurt." Kurt. But also, these professors that they've handpicked, I felt were like the cream of the crop. I mean, they did this call for these professors. They dropped their lives.
Yeah.
You know, they relocated. They came to Stony Brook, and they really were handpicked. There was a large pool of applicants to come and teach at Stony Brook Southampton. Come on back,
And
Heather.
I was one of them.
Right. So, I mean, they put out this call for the most amazing, talented professors that they could get, and they've got them. And that, you know, that's, you know, and they're in there teaching the labs. That's the thing. You know, you go to other schools and you'll have a, what do they call the TA, teacher assistants,
right.
or even pre-med or pre-doctorate students, or doctorate students are teaching. But at Stony Brook Southampton, you've got the actual.
They motivate us more.
Exactly.
Because it's like we were motivated, but without the help from them, like I wouldn't have gotten to where I am right now at all. Like with my projects, you know, about the whole switching over to this situation. Obviously now I'm going to focus on saving my major, but I mean, originally I was going to maybe do like a natural beach replenishment project or something. Like Long Island, we're made of barrier islands and a glacial moraine. Like this is not unique, but like this is, you know, it's rare. Like we should have a coastal major on our island, not up in Alaska or Syracuse has a program too, but I mean, why wouldn't Long Island have one? And for it to take it away like that, like, I mean, I hope all the teachers have jobs like you know, Kurt, like you said before, he came up from coastal, and you know, he's taught me so much about the ocean. He was my oceanography teacher, and that's what really made me like say, wow, I really do want to do this. Like it was an idea, but that's what made me like focus and say, I'm gonna do this with my life. And now what's he gonna do? What are you know?
Yeah, this brings.
What am I gonna do?
Are we saying that a small college environment where people are important is becoming a dinosaur? Is that becoming extinct? Is the way to teach kids in classrooms of 500?
With the
I mean, that's my concern. And I know that there are budget things that are really creating true pressure. But the question is to think out of the box. How can you deliver instruction in a humanitarian way that motivates kids like the way you're speaking and helps people grow to do these phenomenal things in this economy? There's got to be an answer. We got to think out of the box somehow.
Well, and I run the Creative Writing Club, and one of our projects was we were actually, on our campus, we were concerned about apathy, which is really funny. So my Creative Writing Club was complaining about it, and I said, well, let's create this writing game. So we started creating white boxes and putting them all over campus, and the assignment was to write yourself out of the box. And then we put them together and copied them as table cards. And we put them up with a little calendar that had activism, a calendar for the week of activism and things that had happened, like, you know, the Russian Revolution, etc., the proletariat. And we started that, and here we are, like, boom. I think we started this about 6 weeks ago, and suddenly my students are like, you know, there is no apathy on campus, I tell you. But you know, that is the sort of thing that we do, is you come up with these ideas and you say to these students, I just want to say one more thing about quantitative. Education's become quantitative instead of qualitative, right?
Yeah,
Get
as many in and out as you can.
Yeah, life is not multiple choice. You don't blacken a box. It's not the SAT, right? If anything, it's essay, you know, and mostly it's argument.
Hands-on.
Yeah, it is absolutely. And our students are, they are hopefully activists. And you know, you may not think, our audience may not think that our students can change the world, but don't tell my students that they can't change the world, right?
Not at all.
Not at all.
We're not accepting that.
Yeah, and you know, Thich Nhat Hanh tells us to change the world within us, to change the world in our communities, to change the world in ourselves, right? That's what we do, and then that ripple effect changes the world in a greater way. So it is, you know, it's that pebble in the water, and Southampton, we're the pebble.
You can change the community you're in, or you can't change the state, but like you went forward to East Hampton town, you know, people, I'm sure more projects would have come out, more proposals.
Sure.
To change little, like they own, I don't know how, if you know how they organize the beaches out here, the fact that East Hampton and Southampton own that much coast and the way they organize it, there's got to be a better way for the environment. With the piping plovers and the trucks driving on the beach, I mean, there's a lot of space and a lot of room to drive, but it's tearing up the beaches. Like, sorry to the fishermen.
And look what you did in Montauk. And that all came out of a meeting with the Peconic Bay Keeper.
Oh, what I'm trying to do in Montauk.
Well, didn't you make some changes already there?
We're working on it.
Okay.
The blessing of the fleet, let's not bring balloons there this year. Be greatly appreciated.
And I think that whole issue is a case of, you know, I told you I was there once with the balloons, and I thought it was fun, but I was uneducated. I did not have any idea what those balloons were going to do, what those balloons were going to do to the marine environment. And once I understood that, and that's where community activism and education really plays a big part. Because I think
horseshoe crabs, that's a big one. One of my students said he did a project on the horseshoe crab because fishermen are allowed to kill them still. I mean, if it wasn't for horseshoe crabs, we would, I mean, they are a huge medical resource.
Anyone that's ever had an injection, an IV, or have been in a hospital or doctor setting, basically